There you go. Good evening, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you're watching from today. I'm glad to see everybody. I hope everybody's great, and I hope everybody's doing, marvelous. It's a pleasure to see all of you in here today after all these years. And like I was saying earlier, as we navigate through life, as we get older, our priorities changes. Our goals, our ambitions and stuff changes as we get older. But there's one thing that should remain constant, and that is a commitment to our health and wellness. And so today, as we embark in this few minutes of journey, to just talk about various aspects of health and wellness that are relevant to us, especially as we get close. I think in another 2, 3, 4 years, majority of us will be clocking our 50s, celebrating our golden jubilee age. So as we get older, we need to concentrate more about our health. So our goal is for today is to equip you all with information, tips, and inspiration to help you lead a healthy and happier life as we get older. So I'm going to continue with my beautiful slide here. So before I start, I am not a medical doctor, but I'm a finance consultant. I'm a public health and community wellness disability advocate. I'm a certified mental health coach and mentor. I'm a certified life and wellness coach and counselor. I'm a creative designer behind the brand name Cocozini, and I think a lot of you know that. And I just started a new platform called the Wellness and Circle, which is a platform for health and wholesomeness. So if there are doctors within us today and there are questions that are medical questions, I would appreciate if they can help me answer those questions. So I'm going to go into the introduction. I came across these pictures somewhere online, probably on Facebook. And let's just briefly reflect on all these pictures, what we look like then, the energy that we have then when we were teenagers. As teenagers, we were characterized by energy as being this resilient someone. We go for what we want. We do what we want to do because, we have the power, we have the strength, we have the ability to. But as we age, we can't be able to do all these things anymore. Okay, somebody's saying something. We can either chat. One second, let me just navigate the chat real quick. So Eunice says, please, those of us with no names or abbreviation or default phone types, you think with my 4 eyes I can still read. This is so little that I can barely even read it. So that's aging, people. That is aging. So please, those of us with no names or abbreviations or default phone type or model as names should please drop the names in the chat box. Thank you. Okay, everybody. So I'm going to go back and I'll be navigating the comment section once in a while. So here's a picture that I got from the internet, from Facebook. And like I said earlier, when we were here, our state of mind and condition here and what we are now are two different things. So our focus today is just to take us to a little journey of how to get better, how to maintain our health and wellness as we get older and stuff like that. I'm not going to be able to dig too deep into it because of the time. But I'll just pick one or few things to work on. So today's topic is prioritizing health and wellness, which is a lifelong journey, especially at this age. It's going to be a lifelong journey. In other words, a lot of things will start happening. We'll start looking for ways on how to take care of ourselves, how to solve a problem health-wise that is coming up, which, it's bound to happen since we're aging. So I will talk about the physical health, the mental and emotional well-being, lifestyle choices, then setting goals and staying motivated. Then we hit the question and answers. So in our physical health, one thing that I know a lot of us don't really take care of is nutrition and diet. People still think, yes, we have this food, we can just eat it. No, because as we get older, there's some certain food that we're not supposed to be eating. And I can't start digging deeply into that today because of our time limit. But at the same time, there are some foods that we eat that helps us prevent against certain problems as we get older. We have to always remember portion control. Because we are able to eat this big old food doesn't mean we should eat it. We have to be careful about the portion of what we eat and how we eat it. We have to consider more grains, more vegetables in our diet. Fish is a very good thing at this age of ours. Then there's one thing also, the fruits is very, very good. Vegetables are very good, a lot of green vegetables. Then avoid salt. There's been research that low salt helps to reduce the blood pressure. At the same time, it helps to reduce the risk of diabetes and heart diseases. So watch out for salt when you do a whole lot of stuff. Then moving to exercise and fitness. Activity is actually, whether we love it or hate it, physical activity is a cornerstone to healthy aging. It doesn't only help us live longer, it actually also helps us to live better. So walking, running, jogging, biking, those are all good exercises for our age. And it also, exercise help to increase our cardiovascular health, and this is most of our heart. So, and as we grow older, our muscle function declines. They will realize that the things that we're able to do, how we're able to carry stuff, that we don't even have the strength that we used to have anymore. So trying to incorporate exercise sometimes help maintain all this stuff. It may not bring it back, but at least it maintains it. And another thing is the regular checkups. Preventive health goes a long way. And there's a saying that states prevention is better than cure, right? So including routine screening at this age is very, very important. If there's any vaccination, if there are health assessment, I know here, because I live in the US, so I know here in the US, when you hit the age of 45, they start telling you to go and do colonoscopy. And this is when they check your lungs to see if there's any cancer trait, just to be able to cure it ahead of time. And at the same time too, they advise the men to, I think somebody's phone is open because it's echoing. Could you please help us mute? Okay. So there's always an advice that the men should also check their prostates, and the women, mammograms. So please always make sure you go for checkups. Don't assume you know it all. Don't assume a particular pain is for something or that. go to the doctor, let the doctor check you out to know exactly what is going on with you. Going to the next one is our mental and emotional well-being. Mental health matters as we get older. First, I'll just kind of define mental health and mental illness. Because when you talk about mental health, when someone come in and starts saying, you know what, I have a mental health, my mental health needs to be taken care of, people always first think about mental illness. But mental health and mental illness are two different things. So mental health is more about wholesomeness. How are you feeling today? If you're having a form of headache that is preventing you from doing your daily activity, then that is mental health. If something is happening to you, maybe you're having headache, and that headache is disrupting you from activities, that is mental health. If something is happening in your life and is preventing you from functioning, that is mental health. So mental illness is more about the ailment. And when I'm talking about mental illness, I'm talking about bipolar. I'm talking about schizophrenia. So those are the illness. When people, when they have episodes of how am I gonna even say it? When they have episode that comes in once in a while where they need to go to the psychosis episode is what I was looking for, then that is mental illness and not mental health. So with the mental and environment well-being, I want to start with stress management. When you're going through stress, always make sure you identify the root cause of your stress so you can be able to deal with it. Root cause can be maybe because you change environment, you change work, maybe your kids just got into school. I mean, stress can be in different form or ways. And there are different strategies for maintaining stress. What works for A may not work for B. So please make sure you kind of explore different options, such as, some people do meditation, some people do yoga, walking, swimming, dancing, cooking, reading, music, relaxation. Those are techniques that helps in calming your stress moment. The people, your social connection sometimes determine your mental well-being. So maintaining strong social bond. I like the fact that we are here, we still reach out to each other. So that is our social bond. Maintaining strong social bonds, identifying your circle, a friend, that will always be there for you, people that will always be there for you, that you can depend upon, that you can talk to when you're going through stuff. You need those kind of friends around you. You don't want to have a friend that is on a high, anxiety-wise. Some people will just come in and that we have some people that are always on a high. This is happening to me today. I just got this. There's always something going on with them. And if we're not careful, we start draining from them. They start draining us. Their energy, we start picking up their energy. And we just find out that actually we're going through the same thing too. That when they start talking, we start feeling overwhelmed. That energy drains us. So you just want to be sure that, as we get older, we just want a connection that you can go to, talk, have fun, share life together, and a nurturing relationship that suits your mental health. Then I'm going to go to mental fitness. So mental fitness is more about engaging our brain to activities that will keep us alert at all time. I'm telling you, as we get older, we'll start losing our memories. I mean, I'm going through it right now. you start having this little memory loss. It comes with aging. So what do we do to keep activating that brain? So we have to find an activity that that could keep our brain active, so we don't go into dementia in an early stage of life, which does happen. So that's another topic for another day. So now we're going to move to lifestyle choices. I know there's this saying that we've only got this one life. Let's just live it the way we want to live it. Let's have fun and enjoy life. You know, there's a Yoruba saying that says, "Ara lo ń fàbọ̀ sí." In other words, whatever you do, it comes back to you as you get older. So we have to start thinking about our sleep and rest, the quality of sleep we have. If we are having a very good sleep, it improves our brain performance. It improves our mood or health. If you are sleep deprived, it actually raises a lot of diseases, risk of a lot of diseases. Sleep deprivation can lead to stroke. It can lead to obesity. It can lead to dementia. So it can lead to a lot of things. So ways and strategies of improving sleep hygiene. You know, for you to improve your sleep, at least, you know, if you have TV in your room, that is always a no-no. It's always advisable, but if you can, at least don't watch TV during bedtime. I mean, some people says actually watching TV help them sleep, but not majority of us can do that. And also, if you're eating too late, you're having, you know, this large portion of food before you go to bed, you know, it takes a little bit of time for digestion to happen. And if you're not able to digest that food properly, it's going to affect your sleep for that day. Taking caffeine during bedtime affects our sleeps. So less caffeine, less alcohol. I know, you know, the health department says a cup of red wine a day is good for the heart, which is great, but the excess is not. So taking alcohol before bedtime also disrupts our sleep. If you exercise before bedtime, it actually helps a lot to knock you out to sleep early. Then here in the US, sometimes some doctors recommend small dose of melatonin, a very small dose. We have it over the counter here. So that it's also recommended. You can just take a little small dose and it helps with your sleep. So tobacco and alcohol is another thing. I know some people, you know, when they go to parties or they just feel drinking alcohol is a way of wearing away stress, but it's not always the truth. You know, actually, the impact of tobacco, combining smoking and drinking increases the risk of getting cancer in the aerodigestive tract, like your lips, your mouth, your throat, you know, etc. It also increases the risk of your heart disease, your brain damage, stroke, cancer, liver disease. You know, these are all the things we need to watch out for as we get older. So there's one more thing that a lot of people don't talk about, and it's managing chronic conditions. As we get older, there is 101% probability that certain ailment will start showing up as we visit the doctor. We may go in there for something and come out there with 3 different ailment. That is part of life, and that is part of aging. So how we deal with it is what really matters. I just want us to know that it's expected. In other words, but some of us, we get it way before the other. There are some, I don't know, I'm going to say this, but there are some ailment that is going to start showing up at this age. Majority of us are going to clock 50 pretty soon. So when we start getting to that stage, our immune system are not as strong as it used to be. So we will get vulnerable. But how we take care of our body will help us prevent this vulnerability, because it's going to come. We are going to get older. We're going to have different types of diseases. So we have to make sure we are being proactive when it comes to medication. We can also find groups of friends that have similar condition that we can share our experiences with. It is okay to share your experience with familiar friends. Actually, I have a Zoom awareness that I do with the women every month that we share. It's a roundtable talk, and we share awareness about menopause, because it's something that a lot of us, we're getting to that stage, we're in our perimenopause stage, where things are happening to us and we are not even sure about what it is. So sharing things with each other and talking about it help us get to know ourselves better. And so here's just setting goals and staying motivated as we get older. So it always, things happen in life. Things happen every day. So remember to set specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound goals for your health and for your wellness. Because the goals you set right now will help you get better and live better as we get to the next phase of life. And another thing is finding motivation. Find your purpose. Find what makes you happy. What motivates you to keep going every day and not give up? You know, we may see ourselves here today. We still have a long way to go. And in order for us to get there, we have to find peace within ourselves. I'm kind of going to stop here now. I don't know if to take a question and answers now. If you have any question and answer, please go ahead and open the mic and ask questions. And if they are medical questions that I can't answer, if we have medical doctors within us, I would appreciate if they can also help us in answering that question. So you can raise your hand or just open your mic and ask questions if you have any question to ask. I see a lot of people are still joining, are coming in. Welcome everybody, welcome here. So we're about finishing this session, and we just kind of did a run through about health and wellness. And we are in the question and answer section right now. If anybody have any question, let me know.
Thank you, Jibike. I appreciate your time today to educate us. I believe I have joined one or two of your sessions on Zoom about for the women's class. I think everything you've said here today is very relevant. The only thing I would say is that why are you showing us pictures of an elderly couple? We're not that age yet now. How about could look for 40, 50-year-olds?
We're going to get there one day. I'm just kind of helping us view it in the future. And again,
why now?
These people may not be that old. That is one thing you don't even know. People age differently.
Yeah.
People do age differently. I'm going to be 48 in November. And I see some people that we are the same age, and I look at them and I'm like, wow, God, I just thank you.
Yeah.
We age differently.
Yeah, very true. It really has to do with lifestyle and probably environment and all of that. But my question, to open up the floor for questions, because I know you have to go, I will need our next speaker to come on. My question is really finding that space, that happy space, because we all go through our seasons when we're either going through stress or trauma or whatever the case may be. And we need to just find that space or that environment just to, breathe, so to speak. So I want us to be realistic, because a lot of us are here in Nigeria, for example, and we don't really have all these options of, going to, for example, a jazz club or going to the opera. People don't have, our options are limited. You can't even say you want to go to the park. You'll be met, hotels will meet you there. I mean, so it's like, what can we do within our environment to find that happy space that works for us? Because I like us to be realistic with just having a place where we can just unwind. What can we create, maybe I should say, to help us just breathe and, just, take a break, so to speak, from all what's going on in our life, and then go back refreshed to, to deal with that issue.
I'm just gonna say it from the women perspective, or if anybody have any answer to this too. I know, I use like you said, what the options or the research or the things that we have here in the US or outside of Nigeria is different from what we have in Nigeria. But one thing is, though, we can create options here. I mean, if you have group, like maybe you can look for 5 different friends of yours, right? Create time to talk about things, maybe once a week or once every 2 weeks. You'll be surprised at how even talking about stuff relieves you. I've been through different kind of journey. And one thing I was able to take out from my own journey, is that when I talk out what I'm going through, it actually helps, relieves me. When you wake up, a little of my journey, I don't know, majority of you don't know, when I was in command, I already lost my mom. I lost my mom at the age of 11. I lost my dad at the age of 25. I lost my older brother. He was 33. My kid's dad, I lost my kid dad like 4 years ago. So these are phases that I have to figure out how to deal with it in that limited space of mine. So we can do it. Even sometimes just walking around the neighborhood alone can help. Someone like me, when I go out there to walk is when I try to just relieve my memory, my brain, to release my brain, to think. And even sometimes within the house, when I'm maybe washing dishes or cooking, I talk to myself, and my kids are like, "Oh, mom, there she goes again. She's talking to herself." That's just that's just a way for me to ease what I'm going through at that particular moment. I don't know if anybody have any other options or anything to say, but I think from no time or no resources, we can create resources that will help us. What works for you may not work for me. What works for A may not work for B, may not work for C. But I still believe that we can find a way. The program you're about to watch is proudly sponsored by MTN. Somebody's phone is open.
Okay. Thank you very much. I just want to ask a question.
Yes, sir.
What's the balance between genetics and these lifestyle changes? We just finished from command now, and we went to the balance between genes, your genetics, and lifestyle changes. We just finished from command now and we went to eat amala. And I was looking at him there. He has no extra flesh, no extra weight, no excess tummy. And there are some people, and they will tell you that they are not eating, but they're just gaining the weight.
Stress.
So how do you strike the balance?
Well, okay, from my own understanding, number one, genetic goes a long way. And another thing is also stress. Stress goes a long way. Stress, age. As we age as well, if we're not having much time to step back and relax, all this bottle up. I was telling a friend of mine that when I was younger, I could lose 5 pounds in 2 days. Now, it's taking me almost a year to even lose 1 pound. So as we get older, things change in us. Yes, genes matter, but at the same time, what we do also matter. Those exercises that we're talking about, the food, the type of food we eat also matter. Rice is number one carb. It has so much carbs that, when you lose 10 pounds today, you eat 2 plates or 3 plates of rice, you may even gain it back tomorrow. So lifestyle and genetics, like you said, even with if you have family with great genetics, right? But if your lifestyle is not good enough, you may still gain that weight. For sure. So you have to be very consistent with what you do, what you eat, and stuff like that. And I think I see somebody in the chat say something. It says, okay, Tayo says, as a mental health coach, can we categorize OCD under mental health or mental illness? OCD is a type of mental illness, actually, because it's not common. It's not mental health, it's mental illness. Does anybody have any more questions? Laulu, I hope I'm able to answer your question to an extent.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Any more questions? Well, just to continue, let me just continue my presentation here. I'm going to share my screen again. So here is my information. If you want to contact me, bk.ojama@gmail.com, or my website, or anywhere on social media. You can just reach out to me if you have any questions when it comes to mental health and wellness. And also, to wrap things up, I will say, no matter your age or where you are, health-wise, it's never too late to adopt a healthier lifestyle. So please make it a priority. Remember, our health is our most precious asset. And with the knowledge and determination, we can lead fulfilling and healthy lives. So I want to express, let me just stop sharing here. I would like to express my gratitude for everyone here, for every one of us here today. So I'm glad that we are here. I'm glad that we are seeing each other grow this far. I'm glad that we are waking up every day. We are able to breathe, to see, to hear, to taste, to smell, to talk, to touch, to feel, to walk. This is grace. And I will encourage us to keep staying connected and help one another in our health and wellness journey as we grow older, because it's not going to get better. It's not going to get worse either. But, you know, if we can pull each other along, talk to each other all the time, share what we're going through, we can learn from each other and we can all grow old together. Thank you all for joining me today in this exploration of health and wellness. Let's embrace this phase of life with enthusiasm and a commitment to our health and well-being. So thanks, everyone.
GBK,
Mr.
I
Dennis.
want to personally thank you. Sorry, I came in a bit late, so
Yes.
and then while I was watching it, another call came in and disrupted the call.
Okay.
But I really do want to thank you for sharing your personal stories, and it means a lot to all of us when we watch you on Facebook and you know hear your stories, and then you come online and you're willing to share your stories to be able to help um, every one of us to understand your journey and how it has affected your life personally and the life of your family around you, and you want to use that to impact all of us, and we feel it. Everybody here has a personal story, and I don't think that um, there's anybody on this call today that does not have a story to tell. But of course, there's always apprehension as to whether it's the right thing to do to tell your personal stories because of the culture and all of that, right? But it's important that we all understand that every time you tell a story, it doesn't have to be your full life story. Every time you tell a story, even if it's just one event that has happened to you and has affected you either in a negative way or positive way, you're definitely impacting somebody else's life, because somebody might be going through something similar and has no way and thinks there's no way out of that situation. If I begin to tell my story as to my journey till date, and everybody like, you came back to Nigeria, did they worry? Like there's something entire head. But I have a story to tell, right? But but I'm sure a lot of people can relate. But anyway, personally, like I said, I want to thank you, and God will continue to bless you in your journey as you go through life.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much,
Right.
Denise. I really, really appreciate that, because not everybody understand what I'm doing. And, I've heard people call me aside once in a while and said, why are you sharing all your story? And at the same time, I've heard people come to me. Most of my clients that I have here in the US heard my story to be a client of mine because they are going through the same journey as I am. And they felt my story touched them enough for them to come out and talk about theirs. So we all have a story. Don't be afraid to share it. Telling my story to me is healing. I feel relieved whenever I share my story, because most time it's as if I have this big, heavy weight of sack of load that I'm pulling with me. And the more I talk to people about it and share it, it's like the weight is really, it's getting much more empty. It's like I'm relieving the weight, releasing how big it is, making it smaller, right? So, and again, don't ever judge anyone based on the appearance of what you see on the outside, because you don't know what is on the inside. When people come to you and tell them, hey, I'm going through this, believe them. They may not be telling the whole truth, but they're telling part of the truth. We can't help everybody, but those that you are in a state and place to help, please help them. And at the same time, let's remember our health. That is the main thing. If you're in a good mental state of mind, everything else around you gets better. And thank you all for holding up this space for all of us, for keeping up this room this and our WhatsApp group at the same time, where we share stuff and reach out to each other too, because we need to grow together. Like I said earlier, things are going to start happening that we don't know, that we're not even aware. But once you hear somebody talk about it, then we're able to share, then we're able to learn from each other. We may not come from the same parents, but because we have walked the same journey and we stayed together for 6 years, we have become family one way or another. I can't see you all outside and reject any of you when I'm in a position to. I don't think so, because I see you all as my brothers and sisters. So thank you all. Thank you so much for coming in today. I'm going to clock out of here, or just
well, thanks a lot, Jibs. Thank you.